2B. Writing. Before you continue this video, please watch 2A Grammar, Past Simple versus Past Progressive. You need the information in that video for today's video. Today, you will learn how to write an informal letter. Informal is the opposite of formal. It is the letter you send to a friend. Including a narrative, you will describe events that happened in a story. A. Discuss. Do you ever write letters to your friends or relatives, brothers, cousins? Well, yes, I do, but on rare occasions, not always, no. What reasons? Why do you write these letters? To tell them about events, incidents that happened to me. Now read the letter that Adam wrote to his friend Amir and answer the question below. Why is Adam writing to Amir? Adam wrote this letter to his friend Amir. Why? A. To give him information, details or facts about an event, something that happened, or maybe to describe an accident. An accident is an unfortunate incident, like a car crash, or maybe to tell him about something that happened to him. Now read. Dear Amir, I hope you're fine and that everything is okay at work. Not much is happening here, but you will never guess what happened to me. You will not believe what happened yesterday. While I was walking home from work, I heard some people shouting. When you shout, you say something in a very loud voice. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! I looked behind me to see what was going on, to see what was happening. And I realized that an old car which was parked on the top of a hill. The car was put for a period of time on top of a hill. A small mountain was rolling backwards, moving backwards. The car was heading straight towards a group of school children. Heading straight towards, moving directly in the direction of school children. I knew I had to do something to save, to rescue all those innocent lives. Innocent, they have done nothing wrong. They are innocent. As the car approached me, got near me, I jumped into the driver's seat, where the driver sat, stepped on the brakes. That's me stepping on the brakes, and even pulled the handbrake. That's me pulling the handbrake. But, to my horror, what scared me, nothing happened, and the car just kept rolling down the hill and picking up speed. Its speed was increasing, going faster and faster all the time. Then I realized that the only thing I could do was steer the car away from the children, use the steering wheel to change the car's direction. I turned the wheels left and just missed hitting an elderly man. I almost hit an old man, almost, but I missed. After a while, the car slowed down, and finally, it came to a stop when I crashed it into a big tree. So I hit the tree for the car to stop. Fortunately, luckily, no one was injured, no one was hurt. And everyone now considers me, thinks of me as a hero. Well, that's my story. I've got to go now and give an interview, answer questions given by a reporter to a local newspaper, a newspaper that is sold and distributed in the same city or town that I'm in. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Adam. Now, why is Adam writing to Amir? The most accurate choice is C, to tell him about something that happened to him. C. Read the following statements and find examples of them in the letter above. In this letter, find examples for when the writer use informal language. Where can you find informal language here? Everything is okay. Not much is happening here. You don't use this language when you speak to someone you don't know. You can say this to a friend. Short forms like your. Your is short for you are. You'll never guess. This is short for what? Short for you will never guess. That's my story. This is short for that is my story. Past tenses to narrate events. Where can you find past simple and past progressive here? I was walking while I was walking. This is past progressive. I heard, I noticed. This is past simple. I was heading. The car was heading. Time linkers to indicate, to show the sequence, to show which thing happened first of events. These are the linkers: while, as, then, after a while, and finally they show sequence, which thing happened first. D. Read the extracts. An extract is a small thing taken from a bigger thing. From the letter and complete the rules, the grammatical rules. A rule is something you should follow. Complete the rules below with the words and phrases in bold. Use while, then, after a while, and finally to fill in these blanks. Use what and as with the past progressive. We know that we use while and as with the past progressive to indicate the longer of two actions which happened in the past. Use at first and what to indicate the sequence. The sequence, you use what? You use while, as, then, after a while, and finally. Use after a while to refer to an event that happened after some time had passed. After a while means, okay, after some time had passed, then something happened. When and as soon as with the past simple to indicate two past actions that happened one after the other. To give you an example, as soon as I got home, I made myself a cup of tea. When Adam saw the house, he knew he wanted to buy it. E. Use the linking words and phrases in brackets to link the sentences. Use these to link. Link means make them one sentence. We have two sentences. We will make them one. Use while. Because we're using while, we will turn this into past progressive. While I was driving to work, I had an accident. Or you can say I had an accident while I was driving to work. The meaning is the same. Use at first and then. Hussam thought something was wrong with the road. He realized he had a flat tire. This is a flat tire. At first, Hussam thought something was wrong with the road, but he was wrong. Then he realized he had a flat tire. Afaf was reading a book. She got bored. Use but and after a while. Afaf was reading a book, but after a while, she got bored. 4. I opened the door and saw what a mess the house was in. I was shocked. This is how the house looked. The house is a mess, not arranged. Use when. When I opened the door and saw what a mess the house was in, I was shocked. 5. The telephone was ringing for a long time. Somebody answered it. Use and finally. The telephone was ringing for a long time, and finally somebody answered it. 6. The head teacher, the school principal, entered the classroom. The students stopped talking. Use as soon as. Remember, when you use as soon as or when, your sentence has to be in the past simple form. As soon as the head teacher entered the classroom, the students stopped talking. F. When you are writing an informal letter narrating something, follow the outline below. You should begin with a greeting. Use an appropriate greeting like dear or hello, like you can see here, Dear Amir. And then you need the opening paragraph, which is right here. I hope you're fine. Use set phrases to begin your letter and say why you're writing, like I hope you're fine, it was nice to hear from you, etc. And then the main part. Where is the main part here? This paragraph and this paragraph. It could be 1 or 2 paragraphs. You set the scene, the activities and the people. You tell us what was happening, who are the people involved in your story, and say what happened. You give more details about what happened and when. And then the closing paragraph, which is right here, the last 2 lines. You state anything you want to emphasize. You show that it's very important. Use set phrases to end your letter, like well, that's all for now, waiting for your letter, etc. And then signing off. You sign off like this, take care, and then your first name. Use a signature ending like yours or take care, etc. and write your first name only. Why your first name only? Because this letter is informal. Remember, when you are writing an informal letter, narrating something, use informal language, like nothing much is happening to me. Use short forms like I'm instead of I am, I've instead of I have, etc. Use expressions like well, of course, anyway, you see, by the way. Use time linkers to indicate the sequence of events, like finally, first, then, after a while. Now it is your turn to write an informal letter to a friend. Think of an incident in which you or someone you know did something that was particularly kind, nice to people, brave or courageous. Write a letter to a friend who lives in another town or city, telling him or her about it. Your letter should be between 100 to 150 words. For the layout of informal letters and set phrases you can use, see Appendix 1. This is Appendix 1. It can be found on page 134. This is the layout of informal letters. You can see where you can put your greeting, where you can sign off, and things like that. Now I will show you the letter I wrote to my friend. Please don't copy it, use it as a guide. Dear Salman, I hope you're fine. Not much is happening in my life, but you will not believe what happened to me yesterday. While I was riding my bike home from school, I heard an old lady screaming, "Thief! The thief stole my purse." A purse is like a handbag. I looked behind me and I saw a man running away with the old lady's purse. I quickly started chasing the thief, going after the thief, trying to catch him on my bike. When I got close to him, I bravely jumped on top of him and dropped him on the ground. To my surprise, the man didn't resist. He didn't try to run away. He just handed me the purse. He gave me the purse and said, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I gave the purse back to the old lady. All people looked at me like I'm a hero. I hate to see someone doing something wrong without doing anything. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care. معتصم. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I'll see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.